I'm after. If you're lost and found, you can't find me. Doody doody doody. Doody 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 doody. Welcome everybody to another one of my Sensei's daily drops. I believe this is called. No man, welcome everybody. My name is Sensei. Of course, you guys know that. Before we get started, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that way you won't forget or you won't miss out on a video I drop on every single day, or even my ventured off into the guides. I did a Trek to Yomi guide, so check that. Make sure you guys check that out. I spoke about this next topic or this next gaming topic I'm about to this past week's podcast, this past Sunday, but it's a game that I'm excited about. I know I've mentioned in the past that Call of Duty to me is one of those titles that no longer has done it for me in quite some time, especially with the last one that came out. Vanguard wasn't doing it for me. It hadn't. I know Activision came out and said that the World War II setting was not it. Honestly, I don't think any setting would have been it with this game. There was nothing innovative about it. The gameplay was boring. It wasn't nothing like that jumped out at me when it came to that gameplay. So I don't think it mattered. The setting mattered in this particular game. In fact, I found myself playing a lot of Cold War again, especially now since the rotation of those maps has been like the OG maps, the older maps, that were really good maps in the older Call of Duty, like Jungle and Raid and those kinds of maps. So I've been enjoying myself playing that. So back on the Cold War, Vanguard is just not. It was just not it. But with that being said, Modern Warfare, the remake, the reboot, or what you want to call it, in 2019, was a really good game for me. Not only the multiplayer, but the campaign side of things, where it was really gritty. There was a couple of levels that that kind of question things right from the beginning. In the one level, I guess the place is called Piccadilly, a real location where the suicide bomber happened, and then you had the raid where you raided a compound, which gave that Osama bin Laden kind of feel to it. When you played when you saw Zero Dark 30, that kind of thing, it felt like that kind of thing where everything's night vision, dark green, and you like raiding a compound, and you got to be really sneaky and quick about it before you mess up anything else. But it was one of the better Call of Duties come out in recent times, and I enjoyed that. And the multiplayer for me, I know a lot of people complained about the camping in it. It was slow paced. Listen, not everybody plays Call of Duty, cracked out. Not everybody wants to run around like someone who's on like monster drinks all day long. So I quite enjoyed Modern Warfare, the slow pace of it, the fact that it was a little bit more. I know people call it campy, but it was more of that play style for me, that speed for me, and I enjoyed it. They have since talked about well, now it's Modern Warfare 2, and with Modern Warfare 2, it's rumored now that there's a third mode called Escape from Tarkov. Not called Escape from Tarkov, but there's a third mode there that's similar to Escape from Tarkov, I should say. Sorry, I got a little distracted. There's also noise going in the house, but similar to the Tarkov style. And what I mean by that is that ultra realism of a military shooter. Breaking your bones matter. What you eat matters. Your health matters. What you drink matters. Down to what the clothing you're wearing matters. The ammo, how much ammo you got, the looting of that. Also, it has that Tarkov style in the sense of that whatever you end up gaining, like looting, if you die before the end of that match, before you get to extract those things, you lose all of that. I think Tarkov does that, but there was a game kind of similar to that kind of thing with Division 2, where if you entered the Dark Zone, whatever you looted in the Dark Zone, if you never got to extract it and you died, you don't get that. You lose all that. Something like that, which I think is pretty cool. It's set to be the third mode, not like it's a main mode, but it's set to be a third mode to complement the single player side of things, obviously, the multiplayer side of things. And now you have this third mode where they're calling it a sandbox style mode, where it's going to be something different for Call of Duty, for a Call of Duty franchise to do. But keep in mind, I'm not talking about Warzone 2, which is another mode they're working on. This is a third mode within the core play of the game. Warzone is considered Battle Royale, but in this case, it'll be a third mode. It's a sandbox mode, similar to like what Spec Ops or Zombies is to past games. This will be the third mode for this game. Keep in mind, this is a rumor. It was a leaker by the name of the Ghost of Hope. I looked him up. He's really good about his leaks. He's been spot on in the past. I would say about 80% of his leaks are, they hit. Obviously, for the time a leak gets told to the time the game launches, things can change. But for the most part, about 80% of his leaks like end up being in the final product. Now, with that being said, this mode is called DMZ. Is what is reportedly being called, DMZ. It's gonna launch in a beta phase, which is also a good thing, because launching a game in a beta phase, it tells me as a gamer trying to play this game, it's still beta. It's gonna be rough around the edges. It won't be the final product, and they're gonna keep working on it until they get it right. And they said just as much. They said, as you can see right here, this means it won't be a fully finished, and it will be rough around the edges, as Infinity Ward reportedly needs to test the experience with a large audience and won't be able to finish their feedback data. Something like the DMZ doesn't become final until the general public has gotten their hands on it. I largely agree. When you're doing something new like this, keep in mind, a lot of, and I said this much on my last week's podcast. Keep in mind that as gamers, in the community, we've always asked for new things, something fresh, something different. Stop repeating the cookie cutter, the copy paste, right? Especially with Call of Duty, we ask for something new all the time. That when something new gets introduced, it's almost always overlooked. I would point out a Battlefield. I forgot what that mode is called. They introduced in 2042 a new mode where it felt like I wouldn't say Tarkov style, but it felt like a survival mode thing where you have to loot these computer parts and stuff, and then extract with them. Mode didn't take off. The player count of that went down. And granted, Battlefield 24 has issues, but what I'm trying to get at is that when new stuff gets introduced to games, they want us to try it out, because at the end of the day, as a developer or anything else that you worked on, when you put it out there and it's not being played or talked about or even praised about, I'm not going to spend time just creating it again, making a sequel out of it, or growing it, or supporting it, because there's nobody out there playing it. So it's very important that they release it in a beta stage, and they're saying, and they're being transparent that it's a rough. It's rough, right? It's rough right now when it releases, but it's going to work over time. And they need our player support, our player feedback support, to let them know and understand this is what needs to be there, this is what not to be there. Let's tweak that. Let's tweak this. But I'm interested because this is something different. And Tarkov is a game I've always wanted to get into. Unfortunately, I have not yet. But Tarkov is one of the games I've been wanting to get into. But if you could bring that to a Call of Duty, that kind of style mode into a Call of Duty game, I'm all for it, because I'm already on Call of Duty. So that's a big thing. But again, this is meant to be a hyper realistic or ultra realistic kind of mode. It's not going to be for everybody, but I'm interested in it. As you can see, ultra realistic shooter, but I'm interested in it. So hopefully, it's one of those things. The rest of the community, of the COD community, is interested in it too. But the tweet that comes out from Hope here, from Ghost of Hope, is the Modern Warfare 2's third mode is DMZ. Will launch in beta. Something like the DMZ doesn't become final until the general public has gotten hands on it. It's a large mode that needs maintenance. With that being said, I'm hoping this is something that is true and it comes out as a mode that's interesting to a lot of people. But this is set to complement the single player campaign, which is set to be really gritty. And you already know with Infinity Ward, they're going to hit us with something special with that. And then you have your multiplayer. And then in addition to that, the Battle Royale, Warzone 2. But let me know what you guys think about this. Are you guys excited about this news? Are you still playing Call of Duty? Are you planning on picking up Call of Duty? Drop a comment, share this out, like, subscribe, and again, hit that notification bell. My name is Sensei for another drop on your dailies. That was weird, but happy fucking gaming, everybody. Enjoy.